everyone. It is approximately 6:45 a.m. on a Tuesday, January the 2nd, and I am headed to Starbucks to pick up my to-go order. And I did use points. I want to emphasize that this morning is super important because I am resigning from a job that I have been for about 4 years. I will get into why a little later on once the day is finished to tell you how it goes, but come with me to Starbucks. Talk to you soon. This channel is going to be all things transparency, all things real, all things life. Just want to let you know, I have been on YouTube probably since 2018, and I've tried and tried and tried, but here I am again, picking things off where I left off.
What we gonna do?
I'm really wanting to share what led me to ultimately giving notice to pursue things that were serving me. So probably about a little over 8 to 9 months ago, I went through a surgery that really asked me to sit down and really analyze and what I wanted life to look like as I progress into a new season. I am a part of the 30 Club. I'm entering into 31, super excited. But there were a lot of things after my surgery and healing that really prompted me to think about what I wanted my life to look like. I started to really dig deep into what my purpose was, what my natural gifts were, and ultimately realizing that I needed to spend a time focusing on self than anything else. And if it's not serving me at the capacity that I feel like it should, then I am more than willing to say no, or maybe next time, and really listening to myself. So first and foremost, it was health reasons that made me give notice. Secondly, I felt like I was reaching a cap in the career I was in, I would say in the industry that I was in with the company that I was with, and I wanted to branch out somewhere where I could feel like I could grow and really get to that next step in my career. So I had to move somewhere that was going to be pivotal. What really changed the game for me to really decide, I was driving to work probably about 5:30 a.m. in the morning, and I truly believe God told me, no matter what, January 2nd, you're giving a notice. I called my boyfriend, I called my mom, I called my friends, and I told them, I was like, hey, I don't know what is going to happen in the new year, but I know that January 2nd, I am giving a notice.
I done already told you I'm one of the richest people that ever lived.
Yes.
Only in the fact that when I wake up in the morning, no matter where I am, I don't need nothing.
With that, of course, I do like to forward think. I started to apply, and really think of ways in which I saw, this woman that I am becoming. So I started doing interviews. I declined a lot of interviews. They'll say, every interview you have and every offer is not there for you to say yes. I wanted to be very intentional with the next move that I made. So I was willing to wait for the right opportunity to come my way. The opportunity to interview with one company that really made me feel comfortable and at home, and it made me feel like I had somewhere to essentially grow after 3 years, 4 years of being with the companies. And I believe that my skill set would be able to help propel in the successes that they're already performing in. 23, I did a lot of things in 90-day increments, and it worked successfully for me. I didn't do a lot of announcing accomplishments. Like, my biggest accomplishment in 2023 truly was focusing on health and my mental, but the 12-week year last year helped me with really taking things and looking at it at a more focused scale and scope, and being realistic with the actions that need to happen in order to reach the goal. So as I go into 2024, of course, I am going to be, diving back into the 12-week year, taking more tips and tricks to be able to better my life. I'm gonna give myself time to not only, learn my craft in this new company that I will be entering in, but also take time to really understand what I want to create, and leaning into my gifts and talents and things that made me have happy when I was younger. There is truth there when you tap into those things that you naturally did and created without too much thought because it came easy. So I am taking the path and the journey of really understanding what I want my entrepreneur side to look like while, diving into my corporate side, being specific in your prayer and really knowing what you want. And I'm talking down to the role, how you want your work environment to look, how much you want, what you're willing to put in. All of those things need to be specific in your prayers. So I am just here to let you know, if I can do it, you can do it too. I did not like coming home feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like I could be doing more. Like, I could have stayed there and did what I needed to do, collect a direct deposit and leave, but I felt like my life and my calling was yearning for something more. So I had to take that first step to let myself know mentally and physically.
What I need is right around me, and whatever I don't have, it's only just because I don't have it. It's not because I can't get it. All I got to do is want it, and it belongs to me. So because of that, because I'm favored by God,
knowing that you have an impact on other people's lives really reminds you why you do what you do. So many people thank me for the hard work and the avocation that I did for them. You kind of put in all that work and don't even realize what you're doing and how what you're doing is making the impact. So I left the company feeling warm, feeling grateful, feeling blessed. I know that God is probably telling me, job well done. So, all right. Now I have 2 weeks of freedom and I literally got rest. Like, what better luxury is there than rest? I slept in, I got up when I felt like it, I binged watched Netflix. Gilded Age is really, really good. Rewatch Suits. I've probably seen that all of 10 times. I didn't really put any pressure on me to go out, or I did go celebrate with one of my best friends, and then I went to church, which was very moving and motivating for me too as I begin this next chapter. But I took everything day by day and I listened. I will say, if you are, in a situation that you don't like, it is up to you to make the change, and you have all the tools to do so. I will say that LinkedIn is your best friend out of all social media sites. If you're not on LinkedIn, I would encourage you to get a headshot. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but start connecting with people, start applying. There are different algorithms out there. I will say my best successes happened to me when I applied at night. I'm not a pro. I don't know the algorithm, but I'm just telling you what worked for me. I did a lot of applying in the early mornings. I will say your connections are very important, and don't be afraid to purchase premium and start conversations with people who you don't know. You never know what one conversation can lead to. So keep some of what you're doing private. I know that there are things that you want to tell people, but this was something that I kept to myself to let some of the pressure off of me, in terms of, oh, what interview do you have? Who's your interview? How's that interview going? Like, keeping that stuff private into myself and really bringing people in my journey when it was time was very integral for me, because I do believe that, I put my own self-pressure on myself, but so do others. So I really wanted to create that boundary, get in a pace and a momentum that felt good to me, for me to be able to be my best self. And then, of course, I reached out to my mentors and people who I worked with. So I will say, your interview journey should be private. It should still be intentional and bring people into the journey that will add value. Trust your gut and know that whatever you're applying for, you know what you're doing and you have the tools to be able to do it successfully.